What happens when the dance style you're known for is no longer the one that excites you? My guest today, Tyra, a Sharkey instructor who opens up about feeling torn between the styles she's taught for years and the direction her heart wants to go. We talk about evolution, teaching, identity, and the challenge of staying true to yourself when others have expectations. Let's get into it. If you're a dance or fitness instructor who wants to grow your classes, boost income, and turn your passion into a real business, you're in the right place. Each week, I'll share the exact strategies, lessons, and truth smacks from building a thriving belly dance fitness brand. We'll dive into what actually fills classes and keeps students coming back so that you can build a profitable instructor career. So, lace up those sneakers and pull on those dance shoes. It's time to build the business you deserve. I'm Orit, and welcome to Dance Fit Biz Builders. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dance Fit Biz Builders. I am here again with Miss Tyra, who is not only a certified Sharkey instructor, but is a dancer, is a West African dancer and teacher, and an all-around, great person. Hi, Tyra. Welcome back.
Hey, Orit. How are you?
I'm doing well, and you?
I'm very well. Glad to be here today.
And so today we're going to talk about a really important topic for instructors. Like, what happens when a style that you've built your reputation on now suddenly doesn't excite you? Let's do this. Let's talk.
Let's go.
You've been teaching and performing for a long time, right? So when did you first start feeling like something wasn't fitting anymore for you?
I would say about 7 years ago. And I was getting older in my 40s, and I had sort of pushed my body a lot anyway, because I was teaching dance, I was teaching fitness, I was teaching dance fitness, I was teaching multiple classes at multiple places, and I was performing, and I was also going through perimenopause. And, at the final years of raising my children, and I was just getting worn out. And it just started feeling like this is not worth it. And the thing that I think started getting me first was the performing. I kind of felt like, well, I think I can teach. I just don't want to teach and perform. It has to be either or. And then I got to a place where I just thought I need an exit strategy. I've got to get out of here. And that's when the pandemic hit. And I started testing out how much can I not teach and be happy, and began to realize, I cannot teach at all and be happy. I'm just tired of trying to get people to figure out how to get all the movements. This is definitely pre-Sharkey. So I'm tired of trying to figure out how to get people to understand how to do these movements. I was teaching Zumba at the time. I was exhausted from having to learn multiple choreographies. And I'm not the type of instructor that would keep my playlist the same. I like it to be fresh. And so constantly learning something new. And then with African dance, teaching African dance, my struggle was just doing the same old choreographies, in my opinion, all the time. I was just like, I'm tired of all these moves. I want to mix things up. I don't understand why I can't mix West African dance with maybe dances from the Caribbean. Like, why can't I just mix them? Why do I have to have them be totally separate from one another, Yeah. So all of that just started kind of weighing on me, and it just wasn't fun. And so, I started, like I said, looking for an exit strategy.
2 questions, just so our audience is clear. When you say performing, do you mean the performance of teaching, or were you actually a dancer on stage?
I was a dancer on stage.
Nice. Just want to make sure. And then the second thing is, were you feeling pressure to do the same thing all the time? Like you had said before, every time a certain rhythm goes on, you do this specific movement to that rhythm. Was it pressure from a community?
Yes. So I think each community has its own way of being. There's like almost unspoken rules. And I know West African dance largely within the South USA. And so, and a lot of us do what is called Guinea style West African dance. And so there's specific rhythms that are played. And so all of this stemmed though from Africans creating what is called an African ballet in Guinea. And what they did was they took different people from all over Africa, and these different communities had their own steps. They merged all these steps and matched them to these different rhythms. So this is not indigenous. This is something that was created sort of in a way to teach people in the West. And so what ended up happening is once it came over here and people started teaching it, it's like, here's the rhythm and here are the specific steps that you do to that rhythm. And if you deviate at all, in my opinion, I'll stop saying in my opinion, but I just want to go on ahead and say a flat, people will say all kinds of things. They have their own experience with that West African dance. But if we deviate from doing specific steps, if I do a step maybe that I saw somebody else do, but nobody else has seen that step, it's almost like, hey, that's not what this is. And it's like, how do you know? And the African dancer, one of the premier African dance teachers, Yusuf Kumbasa, even said, this is not how we dance in Africa. This is how we teach here. And so I just didn't understand why things had to be so legalistic. And then I had people who I performed with and trying to get new choreography, even the same steps within the same rhythm became a struggle. And it was one of the things that just made me say, okay, I need to have more freedom to create dances that make me feel lit up and to a certain degree reflect who and what I am. And so in the setting of the class, it was, the exact same thing. The performance piece of it comes into the class because a lot of times the performers come from the class. And so, yes, if I show up and I do different steps and then somebody from wherever doesn't, they come in and they don't know me and they don't understand, I mix things up. I call myself gumbo. I'm from the South USA, Louisiana, Mississippi, gumbo. We mix things up. Then they would kind of poo-poo, it's like, I'm going to put my nose up at you. You don't know what you're doing. And the pressure was great and it just became not fun. And I'll even say in Zumba, people would get legalistic. Well, you're not doing, salsa right. You're not doing, I don't see how you can mess up merengue, but whatever. Sometimes people would come in and act like they know more than you because maybe they're from that particular culture, and I got to a point where I just said, you know what, I'm just going to do whatever I want to. But it just isn't fun dealing with that. I'm like, y'all just come to class and let's have a good time. Okay.
Wow, I'm hearing a lot. So you're not only getting pushback from the West African community about going against the grain, that's one, but you're also getting pushback from those who take your class who might be of the culture, right? And say that you're doing wrong. I mean, well, that's just downright fucked up because they should know that they're coming into a workout class, right? So simple. They should understand, hey, look, I'm honored if I were someone of that culture and coming in and you're teaching this. That's great. I'm glad that people who are not of my culture want to sort of get inspired by this music.
Yeah.
How great.
I feel the same way. I do.
Yeah. Let's flip it a little bit. Flip it to make it positive. And then if those people who are going in who want to get a workout and want to get deeper and learn more, then it's their prerogative if they want to go into a traditional class.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more.
The same shit happens in the belly dance community. The same shit happens in the contemporary dance community. It's everywhere. So, you should do whatever the heck you want within reason and call it something else, right? And call it like a workout of the diaspora.
No, I was going to say, I did start calling my class Afro dance instead of African dance, because if people hear African dance in the South USA, they're thinking Guinea, maybe Senegalese. That's another one that people do, pretty common. But if I say Afro dance, then I think that people start to think, well, I don't really know what that is. So I did start making that shift. I did. I think for me, something that's important, and it's one of the reasons that I'm all in for Sharkey, is having a community of instructors. And when we start making these kinds of pivots, to be able to go to someone and say, well, I'm making this pivot. And even if they don't want to, they understand and they will support, the pivot. But I just kind of felt like I was carrying that burden all alone. I just kind of felt like I buckled under it. And that's when I
Yeah.
just said, you know what? No one gets anything from Tyra.
Yeah. You just needed a community of people who agreed with you.
Even if it was just one or two people who
Yeah.
really understood and I could lean on. So yeah, it was a lonely path. And
Hmm.
I just, this time coming back, I have decided I'm just going to remake myself, period, full stop. That's just what's going to happen.
Boy, I understand. I understand everything. All of it, Tyra. I get you. I get it because I've been there. You talked about one class that you taught. It was a Sharkey class. And you said it was hard. People were just not getting it.
Mm.
Like, what do you think it was? Do you think it was the people? Do you think it was the format? Do you think what?
I think that it was a little bit of a combination. Part of what happens for me is I will take time off. I teach 6 weeks on, 2 weeks off, and they had been off for 2 weeks. And maybe they weren't there even the last class or two. So maybe they had been off 4 weeks. And belly dance movements are new to most of these ladies. I would even say African dance movements. Nobody is really adept at anything who's coming to, not the styles that I'm teaching. And so a little bit of it is they're still learning. And I underestimated the level of, how much they were going to forget. I just didn't know that they would forget so much. And format, I think, is perfect. I don't have a problem or any issues with the format because as long as I use it, even if I have to modify my plan for the day. So maybe I come in with 5 blocks of movement because we are in class for an hour. And maybe I think, you know what? Three is it. All we're going to do is three. And we rinse and repeat and rinse and repeat. That is where I help them find their confidence. And I will say that is the difference between what I was doing before I started teaching Sharkey and what I'm doing now. Because before I would just be like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to keep going. I don't want to repeat too much. I don't know if people will get bored, but now I'm totally sold into, yes, they love the repetition. They love feeling confident and it's very helpful. So I just think that particular day I got frustrated because I just knew these ladies have been here before. I've gone back to doing steps that are a little bit more of like in the intermediate range or advanced beginner range. I just know they haven't. But there was a turn, and so the turn was messing people up, and it just really blew my mind. So yeah, I just think it was a combination of things, and then I just got irritated because I don't know. I think my patience is getting shorter, but I want to be
Yeah.
patient as no matter how old I get.
Yeah. I agree. I think it was patience and you wanted to move on. And as a teacher, you want to be stimulated as well, you know?
Yes. I told my director afterwards, I was like, oh my gosh. One of the reasons I stopped teaching before was it just felt so hard trying to get people to know how to do all of the movements. And then I would have to simplify it so much that I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, is this dance at this point? So you're right, Ori. That very thought went through my mind that day. And I was just like, I don't know if I can do this. I just don't know.
But see, that's what differentiates you between another instructor who teaches a format where they just spit out choreography
You're right.
with no breakdown. See,
Yeah.
I think you're the one who's going to be remembered because that teacher took their time with me.
I will take my time because I do care, a true teacher. And I'm there for them. I'm not gonna lie. I'm there for me too. The number one reason I started this class is because I wanted to work out in person. But when I show up as my full teacher self, and I want them to feel successful. And so even though they struggled a little bit, one lady was saying, "Well, I've been coming and I just felt the pressure of I should be doing better." And I said, I'm the only person in the class who is supposed to come in here and know what she's doing. Nobody else has to come in here and know anything. So don't ever feel pressure to, be the shining example of the student who has been coming. Another lady said, "Girl, I just do whatever I want to. I don't even worry about it. I'm good, you know?"
Yeah.
And they said they had fun and those kinds of things. So I really, I do care and am going to always take my time. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to need us to keep doing this so we can all get caught up to speed and at least do
Yeah.
advanced beginning type of
Yeah.
choreographies together.
Agreed. Yeah, you can't control when people come in with baggage. You can't control when that's their shtick. If that's their mental like hang up. You can't control that. You just got to be you, right?
Yeah.
And just do the best you can. We do a lot as instructors. You know what I mean? Like we're controlling nervous systems in the room, you
That's
know.
such a good way of describing it, or
Yeah,
right.
we do a lot and we should get paid a lot more
Agreed.
because of that. So, Tyra, you talked about wanting to blend some beautiful African movement vocabulary with Sharkey. Now, tell me what excites you about that because that's so exciting for me.
Okay. Despite me complaining about West African dance, I actually love it. I do. Well, the other thing that excites me is even though I know a lot of belly dance movements, I never have performed belly dance. I'm not going to say that I feel totally caught up to speed with like how to combine these belly dance movements. I depend a lot on watching you and the other instructors and watching the videos in the Sharkey, the library for the instructors.
Mm-hmm.
And so with African dance, and I also do the dances of the diaspora, Caribbean and festejo from Peru, lots of Colombian, Brazilian dances. I do a lot of African dance or Afro dance, and they come to me naturally. And so if I can combine what I know from belly dance, because I'm determined that belly dance is like my main thing, but it eases me when I'm able to bring in some of my Afro dance moves because they just come to my mind so easily. It's in my body. I don't have to think as hard. Well, I don't have to think super hard about teaching the belly dance moves, but there's just something that is very easy and natural when I bring in the West African dance or the Afro dances. And so I get excited because I keep the belly dance. I don't have to give up my belly dance and I don't have to give up the West African, the diaspora dances. And then I can begin to blend them. And the other thing I like to do is there's some weeks where I like to just do belly dance. And so I'll have the belly dancing sounding music, the music from the part of the world that belly dance comes from. But then the other weeks, I'll make it sound more like West African because, I always say what you say to me or said early on to me or read. Tyra, belly dance is African dance too. But it's like I want to bring in that different sound and people love it. They love the belly dance music and they love that more African, West African, Afro diaspora type of music also. So being able to blend two things that I love, not give up West African dance, and have those two different sounds that I can work with and bring to my classes. That's what excites me about teaching it or bringing this Afro belly dance is what I call it.
How's it going for you?
So far, so good. It's whenever I do the Afro belly dance, because I don't all the time teach it yet, it's extremely popular. People love it. It's fun for me to teach it too. I remember you saw me share my, I guess you could call it a West African dance class. You saw a video that I posted and you said, "Ooh, that looks hard." But I don't have to do all the hard things. I don't have to kill myself like African dance kind of wears me out when I'm combining it with the belly dance. And I can do, higher level belly dance moves and, bring the belly dance energy. But I just get to play around with which one is going to bring the higher level of cardio, or I always love the belly dance because for me it works the muscles, but then I could bring in the Afro dance maybe to bring up the cardio. But people love the class. It's fun planning it, and it feels very natural for me because then I'm bringing in something that it's like I can do it in my sleep with something that's a little bit newer for me, which is the belly dance.
And how is the breakdown going for you when you go in your bank of Afro moves?
Okay, so well, I'll start here. I started keeping a catalog of movements for my African dance class years ago. And I look at those notes and I'm like, I have no idea really what this move is. I can't remember it. So now what I'm doing is every time I need to teach one of the African dance movements, because I didn't teach it in the Sharkey way before. So now I do actually have to start with the feet, figure out, what are they doing? And sometimes, actually a lot of times, or read the movements that we're doing in Sharkey. Cha-cha is one of those movements. I'll start doing it, the African dance movement. I'm like, in Sharkey, this ain't nothing but cha-cha. So I'll say, okay, this is an Afro cha-cha. And this is how we're going to do it. I'll say, leave out the hips and that kind of thing. So it's helping me to actually be able to create a way of teaching African dance, which is what I didn't have before. And it's making me really think about the movements and what they are. Some of them are very intricate, but it's helping me quite a bit with getting clarity of what in the heck am I doing? And if I want to share this movement, I've got to, put the words with the movements. And the last little bit that I'll say that helped me in my last Afro dance class that I taught was I had so many steps in my mind. I could not for the life of me figure out what steps do I want to put together. Maybe I had 2 steps that I wanted to do. And then I said, oh, in Sharkey, we go forward and back. We take the diagonals, we go side to side, and we stand in place. And so that helped me to kind of figure out, oh, I know which direction I want to go. And so, I know to think about these steps. It helped me to narrow down which steps to use so that I could actually put this choreography together. Because like I said, the amount of steps that I have, I've been teaching African dance since 2010. And I started taking African dance in 1998. So when I tell you I have a lot up here, it's a lot. It's helping me to be able to create a catalog of steps and also create the choreographies using the Sharkey method. The last thing that I'll tell you, Orit, is one of the reasons I haven't fully given up on African dance is because I want to create this catalog of movements to pass on to future generations. That's part of what I'm doing with the Sharkey method, is helping me to be able to put this in something that someone can look at and get their memory jarred. Maybe I'll do the dances and they can refer to the dance and look at the notes or something like that. Because that is actually something that we don't have in African dance. We don't count. It's all, you go to the class, you learn it, but there's not even names for steps or read. In West African dance, no, not even Afro dance. There's not even names. I have to create names for the steps that I do.
That's amazing. So, instructors out there, entrepreneurs, listen, this could be a course. This could be a bundle, a digital package of some sort that, Tyra, you can sell.
I never thought about that, Orit.
Are you kidding me? There's more people out there like you who it's all in their brain and there's no names for it and they don't know how to break it down and build it up. It's going to take you time. It's tedious, but I don't think it'll be hard because you know it. It'll just take time.
And teaching is what makes me think about it. So as long as I continue to teach and log it, then that's how I will get all of it written down. I never thought about that. I really haven't.
Teachers, what a way to diversify. You don't have to teach more to make money. You can have a digital product and make money.
Mind blown, Ori.
Really?
Yes, it never crossed my mind. I just thought, it's a cultural
Really?
legacy. Let me put it together, hand it off to some young person. But no, Ori, there
Yeah.
is Afro beats. I love Afro beats, and they have a name for every movement that they do. I love that about Afro beats. And so what you're making me think is I just need to do what they're doing in Afro beats, and I'll just make up a name for the move. And yeah,
But are they going to break it down and build up as well as you do?
no,
There you go. That's the differentiator.
you're right. You're right.
That's why people will buy from you and not from them. I know I'm being a little crass, but whatever. This is business. All right. It ain't personal. An easy way to do it, one video a week.
Okay,
That's it.
that's
It's
doable.
small chunks. Sell it for like, I don't know, $300 or something. I don't know, whatever you feel like. Yeah. And if they're short and sweet, like 5-minute videos, it's digestible for people. If you make things really, really long, and if people have told me that about my videos, sometimes they're too long. So I'm learning from that feedback. So I'm excited for you for this new format that you're going to be creating.
Yeah.
But now I want to ask you about mindset.
Mhm.
So how do you stay true to your creative vision, but when other people have like these expectations of what you should be doing?
I tell myself, number one, I've never marched to the beat of the same drum as everybody else. So I just embrace who and what I am. And maybe I have to stop a moment and remember that and just continue to make the decision that I have to be true to my own creative style. So, for instance, I was thinking about I can never just be like other people. Here I am putting together Afro belly dance. Initially, I thought, I could just do belly dance. I would be happy. It's just one thing. And then I thought, but I will never be happy not doing the West African or the Afro diaspora dances. I will never be happy not doing them. So I just said, you know what? This is just what I am. And it just is what it is. So it's self-acceptance, number one.
Mm.
I even think there's this in the Stoics, there's something known as momentum mori. And it's I'm gonna die one day. And on the day that I die, what is it that I want to have said? Do I want to say, oh, I just creatively did what other people thought I should do, or I did what came to me? There's this book called Big Magic, and it talked about how ideas are sentient beings and they come to people specifically because they know that person can carry that idea through. And so I'm thinking if these ideas are coming to me, these creative flows are coming to me, I don't want to disrespect them. They're coming to me because I am the person to bring them forward. And lastly, if I don't believe in what I'm doing, then I will never find the people who are looking for it. Somebody's looking for my style of African dance because despite my complaints, that's the community at large. I had a very tight knit community of dancers who would say, I will only take your African dance class, Tyra. You are the best African dance class in Nashville. You are the best African dance instructor I've ever had. They would move away and they would say, I wish I lived in Nashville because I want to take your class. So I'm looking for the ones who are looking for me and they will love it. And I just have to remind myself of that. And um, one of the things that I need to work on is making the invitation. Just try something new. Just be open and give it a try. And again, if they don't like it, I'm not detached. I want you to go find what works for you.
So you think that teachers, artists, creatives, they should give themselves permission to evolve?
I think it's the only way. Definitely give themselves permission to grow, to evolve, because the world grows and evolves. No one can say that fitness today is the same as fitness in 2019 before that pandemic hit. It's a whole different feeling. It's a different approach, in my opinion. It's not just the same old, same old. People want, they need something new. They need something different. And so if we don't evolve and grow and change, then in a way, we're the leader. So we have to lead them in whatever our evolution is. we're leading them into the next wave of, instructorhood or what we do in the fitness world. And even think about it, or read how times have changed in fitness since Jane Fonda, and how, times have changed since Taibo, and just the way that we exercise and how we show up. And it's everything. It always changes and evolves and grows. And I think the thing that we can do as instructors is always remind them, y'all, we are always here to be our best selves. We don't want to just be the same old people. And you'll be better. And that's one of the things I love about dance. It makes our brains healthy. When we're learning new things, we are healthier. And another thing that I've learned too, in studying, I love Stoicism, is people actually grow from doing hard things. You just keep doing the same old, staying in that comfort zone, then you're just going to stay the same old, same old. If we actually really want to grow and feel successful, we don't want it to be too hard. But by the same token, in fitness, come on, y'all, we've got to do new things.
So, Tyra, what has all this taught you?
I would say this has taught me that I am very creative, and that honoring my style of creativity is very important. I will not be happy if I ever have to conform. I will always be safe, but in terms of my style, like if I teach Afro belly dance or salsa or swing dance, it doesn't actually really matter. The only thing that matters is I deliver classes that are safe and effective. Those kinds of things are non-negotiable. I have very high standards when it comes to being a fitness instructor. But when it comes to creativity, I will quit teaching before I compromise my creativity. The other thing too is that Sharky Belly Dance Workout has been one of the best decisions that I've made. Becoming an instructor, well, first of all, taking the classes, because I take in the virtual studio even still, and becoming an instructor, because it really has made me better in terms of how I teach, and the ability to actually get people to understand what to do, the ability to cue, move, and all the things. Because in other formats, sometimes you cue, sometimes you don't cue, and half the times you're not really taught like how to speak the cues or whatever. So I feel so much stronger as an instructor. But that method of how we teach in Sharkey, I won't break it all down, but how we teach in Sharkey has revolutionized my ability to even teach the dance style that I struggle with, because I still teach African dance sometimes, and I teach it in the Sharkey way. And it just makes my life easier. I love being able to give people choreography. That was something else that used to just frustrate me in everything that I taught. You leave out of African dance class and it was like, oh my gosh, that was amazing, but I don't remember anything. Maybe you remember one step, or and, in the other format that I taught, Zumba, there was no learning any choreography in that. You were just gonna zoom through the class, and hey, you just leave out, and you don't remember anything, but people actually get to learn when we use the Sharkey method. So yeah, just educating myself. You talked about growing and evolving. I need to grow and evolve and become a better instructor. And so, taking the leap and learning how to teach in the Sharkey way has made it so that I'll give you another example. I actually had to teach Afrobeats. My director booked me to teach Afrobeats at a high school of all places.
Mm-hmm.
And I used the Sharkey method. I pulled a few Afrobeats movements out. I created the name. Well, I didn't have to create the name, but I created the words to actually do the steps. And those high school kids loved it. They ate it up. I couldn't even believe it. I'm like, I am solidly in my 50s teaching Afro beats to high schoolers. What is going on? And I'm telling you right now, Arit, I would not have done this without the Sharkey method. So yeah, just hey, keep growing, keep evolving, honoring myself, and learning how to be the best instructor is the only way to go for me at this point.
Amazing. Thank you for that, Tyra. And I'm so happy that we found each other because here you are, you're a teacher who wanted to keep teaching. You didn't want to stop, although you felt like quitting, but you found something where you could still give people a great time, a workout, and still be able to coach them at the same time. And not only that, I'm glad that you're seeing the versatility in it, that you're not just doing one genre, North African dance, but you're doing many genres. So you really got a bang for your buck out of this certification, didn't you? So, folks, those of you who are interested in learning this type of system of teaching, dude, Bollywood dance, African dance, Latin dance, whatever dance, bar class, strength class, whatever you want. Okay? All right. So come over here to our world. We'll help you. Thank you so much, Tyra. Really, it's just, you fill my heart. You really are, you're an important person in our certified Sharky instructor community. You really are. And just so you know, you're talked about.
Am I?
In a great way. Yeah.
That makes me feel so honored and happy.
You are.
Thank you. I love our Sharky community. And as I always say, thank you, Orit, because you created this, you offered it, and I never make it a secret. Orit was like, Tyra, you really need to take the training. And I was like, no, I don't. And you said, you do. Yeah. And it's so funny to me that you said, I think you're going to, because I was not going to teach. I said, I'm just doing it for personal edification. And day one, you said, I think you're going to want to teach at the end. And I had to say, you're right, Orit, at the end. So thank you, Orit.
Of course. So I would love for you to take us out with our signature outro.
Okay, folks, all of you out there teaching, I want you to go and kick ass.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.